Alright guys, I thought I'd bring you a replay from a very interesting PvP, to say at the very least, from the old Beta Cup days. I say old, come on. It just finished less than a week ago as I'm casting this. I don't remember the exact results, but I'll go ahead and just cast it as I call it, or cast it as I see it. So here we are. In the red trunks, hailing from Hubei, the People's Republic of China. Excuse me, Wuhan City, Hubei Province, the People's Republic of China. It's none other than Invictus Gaming's Macsed. And in the upper right hand corner, hailing from Chinese Taipei, it's none other than, I give you, he was formerly known as Yo Ironman's Hui, and then before that, Expec IM Hui. Now he is known as Baofeng Hui. Baofeng is just Chinese for storm. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are more curious as to the ranking of Macsed. Actually, not the ranking, but rather the reputation of Macsed. Simply due to the fact that he is, according to Team Liquid Player Database, the world's third best player from outside of Korea. And make no mistake, guys, his performance, relatively speaking, you know, in recent times has been quite strong. I believe in 2012, he and Shigual were both sent to the GSL to compete. He's going for a gas, very early gas, I think. And a second gas right up here. So this indicates to me that he might be going for a Twilight Council opening pretty soon. Could also lead into DTs. Forget about that for a moment. Let's just talk about the players a bit more. Okay. So he went to GSL along with Shigual. He never really performed amazingly. I mean, he didn't perform spectacularly, but just being able to go to the GSL in and of itself just shows that you have a reputation as a player. Cybernetics score now going down for both players at about the same time, but the gas is just now getting tacked on for Hui. So he may not be going for a Blink Stalker opening, but that may change with time. Who knows? This could be anything. Honestly, let's just wait and see how the game unfolds. Macsed, continuing on, he made it to the Battle.net World Championships. He had excellent performance in the World Cyber Games after the Battle.net World Championships. I'm not sure if he's ever been to America before to compete. Certainly a more veteran player. He actually started out with Warcraft 3 as one of the games that he went pro for in China. And amazingly enough, he was actually never a pro for Brood War. So quite the anomaly. And he said he'd never even played Brood War back in the day. This isn't an interview that I conducted with him, but yeah. And Hui in the upper right hand corner. He is GM on the Taiwan and Korea server, sending out a probe in this very southern position. And luckily enough, it seems that Macsed has not caught onto it just yet, at least luckily for him. Two Stalkers in production at a time. Hui just now getting his own Twilight Council underway. And speaking of Hui, you know, just as a player, by the way, the Mothership Core is coming around here to get some scouting information. Maybe get a few probe kills, but we'll see how that goes. Interesting. Well, you know, bringing it to a close, Hui is the only other... He was the second player in Taiwan to actually make it to Grandmasters League after the Taiwan and Korea server merge. But hold your horses, ladies and gents. Macsed getting a few probe kills. It looks like 2. I don't know, 3-ish? 3 probes have just fallen, and the worst part about all of this was that Hui had to basically march all of his Stalkers across the map when that happened. 4 workers have been killed, no delayed mining time whatsoever. But behind this, Hui has decided to do something rather deceptive, and that is throw down his Dark Shrine. The Mothership Core moved out just before it had a read, just before the Dark Shrine was thrown down, and I think the Dark Shrine was actually thrown down in retaliation for the drones that had just fallen. Alright. Hui's been shuffled around through a lot of teams, but I don't think, you know, speaking of shuffling, he's actually just going to come back and shuffle that natural expo away. So here we go. And Macsed's just ready to sack it. He's like, well, okay, I can't save it. And I see what unit composition he has. So I have to do something that will counter that. And that's exactly what he's doing. But right now he's not aptly prepared to take down any DTs that come his way. He is cranking out more sentries and stalkers with time. But I think he's just going to take his time with the sentries. Some of the stalkers from the high ground hitting the ones that are here on the low ground. And the Nexus finally falls in the natural. Oh, Macsed pops in, pokes in. Gets one stalker and then pops out. DT's now coming into the fray as well. They've been in production for a while. And I don't know if we're going to see an overcommitment on Hui's part or not. Beautiful force field, I guess, but it will not stop all of the DTs from going in. And now we have an observer being chrono boosted out. There's one DT that is beautifully trapped right here. And this is all going to come down to the micro and the engagement. We're just going to have to see who's going to prevail over this. There are 2 Immortals in the mix, so I think they're going to be able to hold just fine against all these Stalkers. And Hui, with only 4 Stalkers left, is now going back home. He's afraid for his life. Okay. And it looks like he's just going back and going back and going back. And that's just it. He just realized that he's pretty far behind. Macsed now throwing down his own Dark Shrine. Very interesting. Forward Pylon being killed, and it looks like we have Macsed being his own worst enemy with slightly delaying his own Nexus just now. His unit stuck in position as they were attacking the Pylon, and speaking of Pylon, we do have a bunch of Stalkers warping in from this one. One more coming in as well. Blink is now on the way for Hui. Both players, I don't know how to put them thus far. We've got 24 workers to 28 workers. 1 observer out on the map. Of course, that is Macsed's. 2 Immortals. And it's just 24 probes and 7 stalkers against a very diverse and rich unit composition from Macsed. Probe going by here. Wonder what Hui is going to do with this. It'll be interesting to see. Tech ups. Seems like Macsed is also getting his own blink. He's also sending out some DTs right now in kind of retaliation for what happened to him earlier. And it seems like my follow button is not working right now. There we go. Okay, so probes make it into, or excuse me, DT makes it into the main. He's getting a few probe kills. The question is just what is going to happen now? Probes are being pulled. Is Hui going to attempt an all-in with this? Or is he just going to try and save them and put them at this hidden expo that he has thrown down? Which may not be so hidden after all. Observer shuts down those DTs just now, and it looks like we have some return pressure coming from Hui, his own mothership core over there, trying to do something, but it didn't really work out, didn't really pan out. Of course, we are talking about a mothership core, very low DPS, actually much lower than a Marine, I think. Not substantially lower, but about on par with an unstimmed Marine with about half as much damage. Another DT coming out from Macsed. Just what are we going to see him do? Oh, there it is. Stalkers and the observer shut that down. Hui pushing back, finds the probe, excuse me, the pylon, but the probe finds the hidden expo, and this is what's really going to shut Hui down. His opponent just knows about what is going on here. You know, he's like, the jig's up. And if Macsed had simply sent a probe at the natural or any other kind of scouting unit at the natural of his opponent, then he would have seen that basically, you know, something's up, something's not right here. And that seems to be just the case, as we are seeing Hui kind of forced to engage Macsed right now in a method that he may not find acceptable, but there we go. The observer from from Hui does get shut down by Macsed's main force, and the question is if there is any safety in this game for Hui, where can he find it? There it is. And Day Up, another observer from the game, has actually just left just now because he's like, well, I know it's over now. This is basically how it ends. Probably had something else to attend to. Stalker is blinking into the main for a last-ditch attempt from Hui. We're going to try and kill this Artosis pylon. They do get it. This kind of puts a temporary stop on production, so I think this might actually help him out a little bit. But that looks like a slight misclick, to say the very least. That Stalker did not make it out. And now DT is actually in the hidden natural of Hui. And there it is. GG. Macsed wins with 18 worker kills overall throughout the game. You know, I think if there was no probe here to throw down that pylon and hidden expo, I think he would have been just fine. He might have been in a position where he could have come back, but it's just unfortunate that it had to happen. You know, I wanted to see this game drag on a little bit longer. It would have been more exciting, but anywho. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the follow button on my channel. I'll catch you guys later.